So, boat's full of water.
No way. I guess Kyle just left Davin and I on the island. So, Davin is back.
And wet.
And wet. So
Yeah.
he just briefly told me what happened, and I don't know the full story. So I saw Kyle leave in his underwear, which to me looked kind of weird, a little bit rushed. What happened there?
Well, we went to find coffee out of the boat, and we got in the boat and started wondering why
Sorry, I just lost my
there
hand.
was 3 inches of water in the floor of the boat. And then we looked and realized that somewhere, bouncing off the rocks coming into dock, I guess the plug got knocked out of the boat. So it was essentially just sitting there sinking. But a trick, if you lose the plug out of your boat, if you run full speed, it actually drains the water out of the boat.
Okay.
So he just fired it up and drove right to shore.
Do we have another plug?
He thinks so.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So he went over there in his underwear.
yep, to get a new plug, and he'll get the coffee that we forgot.
Sweet. So that worked out well.
It'll work out.
There was supposed to be a hole in the boat because we needed that coffee. I thought he was going to go get the coffee. I'm like, wow, I don't need it that bad, guys.
I mean,
Come
he
on.
is going to get the coffee now.
In a way, yeah.
But
Also, I don't know, the fire might be out, man.
okay,
I was doing my best.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So that's what happened.
So we're technically stranded.
We're currently stranded. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
First time stranded on the island.
Yeah.
Technically, you're second, actually.
My second. Well, I wasn't on the island. I was on a rock
That's true.
beside the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to this now.
Yeah. Well, Davin, how's our water doing over there?
We now have tea.
We now have tea.
Yep.
How are we? Are we just putting the peppermint directly in the cups and pouring, or are you putting the?
I put the tea right in here,
Oh,
and then
okay,
I think we'll just pour it in. Whatever you get, you get.
okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Old school.
Very old school.
Yeah. These are actual tea stirring sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You carved out yourself.
Yeah.
What tree was that?
That one over there, that mountain ash. Actually, I cooked the fish on this thing, but I broke the fishy part off.
Nice.
Yeah.
I really wish we could make it up, but we don't, which is even better. Stuff just happens to us, and thank God we decided to finally start filming it because I tend to believe that this is rather unique. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Again, I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully we have another plug at the camp. I would assume we do, but it's just hilarious. The fact that they randomly went to go check on the boat and there was, 3 inches of water in it?
Above the floor. So
Above the floor.
And the floor is raised from the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of water.
Quite a bit. The boat was literally sinking.
Yeah.
Imagine if we left that overnight.
Kyle drove back to shore with a sinking vessel.
Yeah, that's another good point.
Yeah. Ballsy.
Ballsy. What was the issue with the plug again?
So on that boat, you can insert the plug from inside the boat, and that way it would be protected from smashing against rocks. Or you can install it from the outside, which is what Kyle did. So you could say he went in the back door with that plug, and
He went in the back
I think
door.
that's a big no-no.
Big no-no. Big no-no. Went in the back door with the plug. Wow. This guy, amateur hour over here.
More towards the east.
Where's Maze? Oh, there she was, Maze. Hi, sweet baby. Hi, sweetie. Sweet Maze. Hi. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Good maze. You're always around.
Oh, yeah.
Down dog.
She knows.
Yoga Island.
She knows.
He knows what's good.
Aw, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Peppermint tea. I got the wolf mug. Davin's got the moose. And Kyle's is the squirrel, which he'll drink out of later if he gets back here. But we were
Probably got distracted.
literally got distracted. That's why he's missing out on this tea. That's why he has the squirrel mug. So we were talking about just everything working for you. For example, the tea. Davin put the peppermint directly in the pot of boiling water. And we weren't sure when it was going to be ready. It was all around the pot to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took a look and it sunk to the bottom. It was ready. We knew at that point it was ready. So everything's just working for you if you don't try and rush and push. And another note on alignment, even getting this island. I mean, we saw it. We were out for a boat ride one day talking about how cool it'd be to have a yoga retreat at our camp or cottage, however you guys call it, wherever you are in the world. We say camp up here. And we thought, yeah, it'd be so cool to have a yoga retreat here. Then we went for a boat ride out in Lake Superior, around this area, just looking at these islands, and thought, yeah, it'd be cool if we had the retreat at camp, but also wouldn't it be better if we had an island? A few days later, Davin pulls up the Realtor app and sees this island just listed, divinely timed. We came out here to check it out, boated around, and then put our offer in that night. So now we own it. Like it all goes very quickly when you're aligned. And that brings us back to the fish from earlier today, where, what did you say? You wanted to catch a fish or something? What were you thinking when you walked over here?
Well, we docked the boat, and Kyle was a little chilly from his wakeboarding adventure. And then he still had some time to unpack part of the boat. I had all my stuff that we needed initially, so I made my way over to where we are now, initially to light a fire so he could come and warm up. And then I got the fire going, and I thought, well, it'd be really cool if I could surprise these guys by catching a fish before they get here. And I didn't even make 3 casts, and then I looked down right in front of me, and there was a fish underwater sitting there that I grabbed, and there we go, we had a fish.
Yeah, it's divine when your alignment and intention is pure. One of my yoga teachers said that things manifest very quickly when intentions are pure. How do we root our intentions in purity? It's through virtues. One of my coaches and mentors, he would say it's virtues. It's what are you intending? What's the virtue that you are upholding as a standard? Is it compassion? Is it devotion? Is it empathy? Is it determination? Joyfulness? These are all a list of virtues. There's 100 different virtues. You can get a cool deck of cards at Virtue Project. I think it's .com. I don't recall. Non-for-profit organization. We gain nothing from you buying those, but check it out. It's a cool field of study. So our intention with this island to build a yoga retreat center was a devotion. It was an act of caring. It's an offering for the world. We're devoting ourselves, risking a lot coming out here, trying to figure it out, unmanned, unmapped territory, and building something that people have some sense of spiritual purity or awakening from. And this ties into the nature aspect that I was briefly touched on earlier, how that nature is God, and you feel it when you're out here. Whatever your religion is, your color, your creed, you can't deny it. Nothing made by man is as impressive as nature itself. Nothing. Not even close. Not the CN Tower, nothing. Not the Eiffel Tower, whatever. Nothing made by man is as impressive as nature. And nature is God. God is nature. Where was I going with that?
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts. Yeah, so virtue. Yeah, again, being pure in your intention, comes from virtues. What virtues are you upholding? Now, the fish story reminded me so perfectly of what Alan Watts talked about, of the sailor who is just following the Tao, following the way on his sailboat. The wind. The wind doesn't lie, it's pushing you, and the sailboat doesn't lie either, especially if you're getting pushed by the wind. There's a sailing term for that where you're going downwind. Downwind is when you're getting pushed by the wind? Yeah, that would make sense. And the sailor, every morning he would wake up and there was a fish sitting on the deck of his boat. Now you can say there's no way, that's not possible, whatever, it doesn't matter. Take the meaning from the story, which is by him walking the perfect line, the Taoist way, a fish would just appear on the deck of his boat every single morning. All we're trying to say is if you can find alignment, things happen very quickly. And everything is working for you. As long as you position yourself correctly. You have to make the proper sacrifices, which means to make something sacred, again, a virtue. You gotta try, you gotta fail, you gotta just see what your path is, and you can't hide it, you can't fake it, because your path is gonna be fueled by love. You're gonna pick up on it through interest, but the fuel, the passion is gonna come from a place of love, and you can't pretend what you love. You can't pretend, you can't fake it, you can't pretend it's not that. Think about a person, a relationship you've had, you're madly in love with this person. Try and tell yourself you're not, right? You can't fake that. It's the one thing, it's the truest thing. And then openly communicating it with people that you trust. Because then there's the mastermind effect that Napoleon Hill writes about. Two minds together doesn't make two, it makes three or more. It's infinite. It's the universal field. Napoleon Hill said that's how these great businessmen like Carnegie set up their organizations. They had a mastermind for decision making, for planning, for executing. And they delegated, they trusted the people, they trusted the world around them to meet them in their aligned state so that things would grow, expand exponentially. Because that's what we're doing, we're expansive. Love is an expansive state. So if you're in a loving state, you are expanding. If you're doing what you love, you're expanding. The universe supports that. Expansion, not contraction, expansion.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, man. I have so many other things I could go on a rip about. Like even, oh man.
Leave it there for today?
Yeah, we'll leave it there for today.
Or for now?
For now. Well, I was going to talk about polarities, because even the expansion,
Okay.
the opposite polarity would be contraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't necessarily bad, because there always has to be a give and a take, a masculine and a feminine, a positive and a negative. And the feminine is mostly attributed with the negative, and the masculine is the positive. But negative doesn't mean bad. It just means to receive. And that is physically displayed when a man and a woman make love. There is a giver and a receiver. And that's why the polarity exists as positive and negative.
Just be mindful of the plug.
Just be mindful of the plug. Front doors only. But the reason I say that is because there's so much negative, let's say, in the world today. Trust me, I know all about it. This hat isn't made of tinfoil, but every other day that's what I'm wearing. And it's easy to get lost in. It's easy to get too wrapped up, lose yourself in it actually, because it's so negative, it starts to consume people from the inside out. Truly contracting their spirit. So, as a resolution of that, in the times of Kali Yuga, where there is a lot of negativity, upon waiting in the Hindu belief for Vishnu, or the latest incarnation of Vishnu, which is going to be Kalki, when the balance of good and evil becomes too skewed, too off balance, where there's too much evil, not enough good. So again, how do we reflect on that? Well, the polarity means that there's too much contraction, not enough expansion. So if we find our purpose, our mission, and in a loving, devotional way, and uphold virtues, then we are expanding. And we are playing a role in this world more significant than we could realize, because more humans doing the right thing is more powerful than godly intervention. I would rather see 100,000, millions of people starting to do the right thing, upholding virtues. And we're far from perfect. We're just brainstorming out here. Very far from perfect. Trying to figure it out ourselves. But I would rather see people upholding those virtues, because that's going to change the world faster than any godly intervention. Because most of the people, if there was godly intervention, they'd probably think it's alien. They'd probably think it's evil. They wouldn't be able to handle it because they're so addicted to the status quo. We all are, to some degree, our systems, our routines, the structure of society itself. So that's why we're here. We're out here expanding. I wonder what Kyle's doing.
Well, that was exciting. Got the coffee, French press. Okay. Now we're